The understanding. The brief introductions were ending as everyone was served a meal from their home country. Then the conversation started. The food all looks so fresh, Razia commented. It looks like my vegetables from my farm, Javier commented. So this was the big order we got at the last minute, Dominic smiled. Who knew it would be for us? Xandria was looking at all the diversity sitting around the table. She was new to most of the different cultures and said, "There's so much I'm not used to seeing. I have so many questions and I'm not sure how to ask. I hope my questions do not offend anybody. It's just that I do not know what it is like to come from a different country to start a new life," as she looked at Javier. "What was that like for you?" Javier cleared his throat. In an instant, he was taken back to his home country. He felt a little pang in his heart for his family he left behind and said, at the time, it was not a difficult decision. It was difficult to live in a country that offered nothing to live on. Everything was corrupt. Death was a regular part of everywhere you went. It would either kill you or become you. He paused. Many times I've seen members of my family taken away and not coming back. It was just a matter of time before I would have been one of them. I had nothing else to lose. And when you have nothing else to lose, you have no fear. You just survive. Thank you for sharing that, Xandria acknowledged his pain. You asked in a respectful and sincere way. That is why I answered, Javier said as he nodded to Xandria. Razia took a moment to comment. In Kenya, we do not know if we will have food the next day, but we are always singing, dancing, and laughing together in the village. There is always joy and happiness. Here, everybody has everything they could ask for, but there is no happiness. I wonder, how could that be? Dr. Bishu changed the tune a bit. I noticed that family is so different here than in my country. The family connection is not here. There are too many people with their phones and computers that they do not even have conversations with each other. Parents do not parent their children, and children do not spend time with their parents. In my country, we all ate together, we all talked, we all take care of our grandparents. We do not send them to homes. We stay as a family, even here. My wife and I ride bikes with our children and do not allow them to spend most of the days on their phone. It is how we were raised. Johnny agreed. When my parents were alive, we did everything together. Respect for the family was very important. I saw that again when I was in China. I do not see that here. There's so much freedom and opportunity here. I don't think people understand what they have by living here, Sarah spoke. Everyone is too focused on making ends meet to realize what they have. Homelessness is one paycheck away, Father Tom said. Perhaps that is the purpose of the homeless, to remind people how close it could be for them, Dominic answered. I know what it was like to grow up in a country where you must work harder than others to get somewhere. It is do or die, literally. Devon responded, it's not as safe as it looks. It's not safe for people of colors and sex preference. No matter what color, I know. I have seen it. It has been a fight for many years, and even though it's illegal to discriminate, it's still happening every day. Yes, I agree. My wife and I have experienced discrimination for being partners, Razia said. What was that like for you? Dominic asked. It broke my heart that people cannot see the love between two people. They think that hate is more powerful or better than love. I felt pain for them and a little fearful for us. If I could tell them one thing, it would be everything is okay. Nobody is hurting anybody else by loving them. There is even discrimination within the queer community, Devon added. I am bisexual, and even the gay men do not take me seriously. They think I'm not out of the closet yet, that I'm in denial about being gay. And the women I share this with feel that I am too feminine for them. It's a hard middle ground to be in. I'm not considered queer or straight, Sarah replied, because I am asexual. I'm told I'm just immature, not ready for a sexual relationship. People do not understand that I have no desire for sex. Sex is used for everything in our everyday life. It is embedded into society more than we think. I run across it one way or another every day. Even my mom thinks I will come around one day. She cannot accept me for who I am. That is the reason why I had to leave my homeland, Pastor Tom confessed. I am gay, and my friends and I were being targeted. I lost some close friends who I never saw again. I'm afraid their fate was not good, he said with tears in his eyes. I am surprised about how much it is not accepted to be who you are. I do not believe a person would choose to subject themselves to discrimination, harassment, or violence for attention. I believe when you come out, it is the bravest acknowledgement you can make. It leaves you vulnerable. In my tribe, it is an honor to be gay or two-sexed as I am. It is considered a gift from Creator. It is believed that I have been chosen to represent the balance between male and female energies, Andrea explained. That is a fair assessment of what we go through, Pastor Tom responded. Even as a pastor, I was not safe. Do you find relationships difficult? Devon asked Andrea. No, I see a person's soul and connect with that, male or female. Gender does not matter to me, as Andrea answered. You must be pansexual, Sarah responded. You see the inside and not the outside of a person. Mac, who'd been sitting quietly listening to the conversations, asked, "So oh, what if I only am attracted to one person? Even though I find others attractive, I just want one person." That is demisexual, Sarah offered. I know some people like that who are gay and some people who are straight. Rosea looked at Bart, and Bart said, "My name was not always Bart. I was born a female. I've been living as a man for the past 15 years and now in the process of making the final transition. I've not faced the discriminations that you faced. I dropped out of society for a while, and when I stepped back in, thanks to Rosea, I was already accepted as a man." Bart was breathing deeply. This was the first time he announced he was transgender, and it was freeing for him. Rosea placed her hand on Bart's and smiled. "When I grew up in Vietnam, I lived in a mansion. We were high society," Cam said softly. "We were privileged. I could see the less fortunate ones outside our compound gates, the ones that were considered sinners. They were the poor, disabled, and the gays. I never understood why they were considered sinners. Some were kids. I always felt like a little help and understanding would go a long way. I felt like I was there to help them." "I served in Vietnam as a nurse during the war," Bart said. "Of course, then I was known as Dottie." Cam shot a look at Bart. "Nurse Dottie?" Cam asked. "Well, I haven't heard that name in a long time," Bart said uncomfortably. "You were my nurse," Cam shouted. "You saved my leg." Bart's mouth dropped and tears welled up in his eyes. He remembered the little girl whose leg looked almost as bad as anything he ever saw. "I remember you. I wondered how you were for the longest time." His voice softened. "I can't believe you're so grown and beautiful." Cam stood up and walked over to Bart. Bart marveled at the fact she could walk so well, and they hugged like old friends. With everyone tearing up at the table, Mac replied, "I'm guessing you two being here is not coincidence either." "No, Actually, it is not, said a voice as it entered the dining room area. This meeting was carefully planned. It has been based on how you have interacted and accepted each other. Everyone gasped when they saw who the voice belonged to. I know you. You help people who are struggling, Sarah said. Your life's goal is to make the world a better place without force, but with acceptance and respect. People call you the inspiration. You are my role model. Everyone was elated to be in the presence of someone who has made such an impact on people's lives. They were starstruck. I know who you have lots of questions. I have heard them all, the inspiration said. I do want to say that you are my role models. You have all endured and conquered personal challenges that would have broken others. You stuck to your beliefs and your true selves despite the oppositions. Then, when you were faced with the extreme challenges, you were willing to learn. You listened, understood, respected, and worked together, breaking free against everything you were taught in order for you to make something good. You did not do this for yourself. Your thoughts were on a greater cause. Not many people take the time or even care enough to do that. And look what you have created: partnerships in organic foods, energy, healing, spirituality, and cultural divides. The group looked around and smiled modestly at each other. They never looked at themselves like that. They just followed what they believed in. But as the inspiration spoke, they realized the impact of what it was they all created together. Nobody has been able to do this on the levels that you have done together. This is why you're here. I'm asking to work with all of you to create a solution to bring more people together. I have a vision to offer to teach them what you have learned. This sounds amazing, Johnny responded. When will this happen? Right now, the inspiration looked around the table and said, it is time.